And of course, got the signature hat and sunglasses going on. But here we go. Letchworth Trail, here we come. So far, not disappointing with the views. There are a bunch of overlooks when we just started. This is Dan, by the way. Say hey, Dan. Hi. There's some awesome overlooks all over, just like this one. So check it out. Signing the trail journal. Letchworth State Park was voted by USA Today in a public poll to be one of the best, actually the best state park in the country. It's a beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to visit Western New York and you want to see something really cool, definitely check out Letchworth. Don't have to hike the trail. You can just go and drive up to the overlooks and drive to the falls. Another sweet overlook. Let's see. We're pretty close to the shelter. I'd guesstimate, which is a word, about a mile. So should be pretty easy. Tonight we'll check out the shelter and see what accommodations are like. If they're to our liking, we'll stay. If not, we might stealth camp. We'll see.
Use the S word.
Yes, yes. You didn't hear me.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Stealth camp.
All right. So here we are. Came from the Blue Spur Trail, back on the Letchworth Trail. So we're heading that way again. All right.
So I'm down for like. We're going this way.
Josh passed the test.
I might be drinking.
Josh passed my test.
I know I'm not going back there. You go that way.
Dan, I'm sorry. See, I think the only thing Dan failed at is trusting me too much. One very nice thing about this trail is it's super well marked. I mean, it's almost impossible to get turned around here. There are trail markers on trees pretty much every 14 feet, at least, sometimes multiple trail markers on multiple trees. Tells you every way it turns, have arrows pointing on them. So thank you, trail maintainers and trail volunteers, for the Finger Lakes Trail. You guys are doing an awesome job. It really shows. And just as I made that video about the clearing that we went to, just found the shelter. Let's go check out. This is the north shelter where we're booked to stay the first night. Oh, little firing, picnic table. Someone at the frying pan for us.
Now the fire will move.
And it looks like we got some firewood here. That's kind of cool. Oh, guess not. Do not uncover, but if you must, please recover. All right, so here's what we've done so far. We kind of started around here by the dam area, and we saw the overlooks over there. Meandered our way down. Multiple overlooks, so just because it has one on this map doesn't mean that's the only one. Meandered our way down some more, and we took that spur trail down to the road, and then we kind of came back just because we wanted to see what it was, and then finally we were at the shelter. Supposed to be a nice night, so set up in porch mode over there, and Josh's as well, and And Dan's over there, and the setup is new. Say hey, Dan. he's tired too. And his Eno double nest. And what's the bug net?
It's a Guardian XL.
Guardian XL.
Also an Eno product.
Oh. And he looks pretty comfortable in there too. Morning, guys. It's about 6 o'clock. Had a pretty good night. Slept really well. About 8 hours, I'd say. No problems overnight. Just a little bit of rain. But we were in porch mode. It wasn't anything that's super sideways rain or anything. So we did well. I had to wake Dan up because he didn't have his tarp set up because we thought it was going to be a good night. So that's one reason why, usually, unless it's really hot and, absolutely zero chance of rain, we usually set up the tarps anyway. But, there's a turkey nearby. We keep hearing it. It was really active this morning. But other than that, we're going to get set up, tour down, and eat some breakfast in the trail and be on our way. I bet once more we're gonna do more miles than we thought, and we're probably gonna go past that shelter, but we'll see where we are at lunch today. 9-10 miles is the plan, but once again, we'll see how far we go. A lot of the Letchworth Trail is just like this. That's why I haven't been filming a whole lot. Just to walk through the woods. The pretty frequent short down, short up, just as you cross kind of a little ravine or tiny ridges like this one. So we go down. Then back up. We must have done that same little down, then a little back up, little down, little back up, about 50 times by now. It's not hard by any means. Just at this point, a little annoying. I'm assuming this used to be a bridge for a stream crossing, but as you see, like we found before,
Still no water.
no water. At least this little bridge is kind of cool. So dark in here. Feels like we're in my kids' Pooh Bear stories in the 100-acre woods.
Basically, I'm just a little lizard dreadnought.
There's been a drought everywhere, so we've had struggles with water in this trail so far, but there's obviously tons of streams everywhere, so this is where we're filtering from now.
My wife is totally fired if this doesn't work.
Is that a poison oak leaf?
Probably.
Oh, that works really well, especially for the flow being what it is. We have been filtering water for about 30 minutes, but this is honestly the last. This is the highest rate of flow of water we've seen since
I turned my faucet on yesterday.
Yeah. So it's really dry this year. So if you're coming out here 2016, prepare. It's dry. We spent about 50 minutes filtering water, which is a lot longer than I've ever spent filtering water before. But you saw the trickle that was coming out from it. Trail's still pretty dry. Trail's still well marked. Just walking through the woods. Enjoying God's beautiful creation. And sweating up a storm. Decided to stop for lunch. On the menu for me is tortillas and peanut butter. Maybe a little bit of honey. What's on the menu for you guys?
Beef jerky, M&M's, tuna.
Mmm.
Wheat thins.
Oh, nice. And this is the southernmost shelter. Hands down, my favorite part of the trip right here. Coming up, we finally found the best water source on the trail so far. Let's turn it around. With a bonus waterfall. Oh, so this is our accommodations. So I'm over here. Josh is over there. Dan is right here. Shouldn't need the tarps, but we thought we wouldn't need the tarps last night. It ended up raining just for a few minutes around 11 o'clock. On the trail again. This is definitely the earliest we've ever been on the trail. It is 6:40 and we're leaving our awesome campsite. We only have about 5 miles to go back to the car, and then I bet we're gonna have an awesome breakfast. One last thing to note by this trail is that, like Josh just said, there are pretty much no switchbacks. You know, they kind of just meanders along, and then you go straight up the side of a hill, which makes for some interesting clambering, but for some fun times. Road hiking. Last leg of the journey. Or at least it should be. I believe this is Trail 7. We parked our car at the parade ground, so we didn't do end to end like we had planned. We started at the dam, so we cut off about 2 miles there where we could have started, and we're not going all the way to the end. So we kind of, because the end of the trail from section 7 or section K on is closed because they're doing some construction down there, so we couldn't do that. One thing to watch for, so being on the trail for a couple days, is that, see that sign right there? Keeps pretty good track of your mileage on the Finger Lakes Trail, or Letchworth Trail in this case. But, talking to that guy who was biking and had the axe on his back, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, he had an axe on his back because he was clearing the trails while he was mountain biking. And he said what they have done is that those trail markers, in terms of mileage, may be a bit off because they've had to reroute the trail several times where it's not safe for bikes or not safe for hikers. So if it seems like it's taking a little longer than it usually does, that's because the markers are wrong. Another confusing thing about the markers is sometimes you'll see trail numbers and not trail miles. So there were several times we kind of went from, we saw a 9, which was mile marker 9, and then we saw that we were on trail 8, and it took us 1 or 2 of those times to figure out, oh, one's the trail number and bugs, and one's the mileage. So almost to the car, if I don't get eaten alive by these bugs. I just want to take the time to say thank you for watching. All you guys who like and comment and subscribe, it really does mean a lot to me that you guys do that. I'm at about a little over 300 subscribers last time I checked, and to me that's awesome. I hope I keep it interesting enough for you guys, but I just want to take the time to say thank you. It means a lot to me. And one of the interesting things about YouTube is, I expected to make some videos and stuff like that, but I never expected to meet so many great people out there. And all you subscribers out there, you're great people, and honestly it's a real pleasure to know you guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said before, this is unfortunately, it's closed, and I only found this out a couple days ago. But this is probably the most scenic part of the Letchworth Trail. And so if you're coming in 2016, they're rebuilding that trestle that the train goes across. So you can access this part of the trail where you get views of the Middle Falls, I want to say Upper Falls as well, and I'm gonna screw up the name, Degayaso Falls. I'll put the correct pronunciation below. But let's go to the car. Let's go get some breakfast. Then we'll come back to the falls. All right, bye.